I'm Tony Wasik. I'm from Medical Arts Hearing Instruments. We do hearing tests and fit hearing aids. I've been here in Leominster at Medical Arts Hearing for 40 years. And we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, and that's why we're here today. We started on Central Street. If anybody is old enough to remember the Boston Fish Market, we were right next door. We were there for about 13 or 14 years. Then we came here, we bought this building, and we've been here on 52 West Street ever since then. The hearing aid industry has changed dramatically just in the last 10 or 15 years, never mind 40 years. I got into it sort of through my father. My father wore hearing aids, and we took over a practice that he had been to get his hearing aids. So that's how we started 40 years ago. We started together. At one time we had 3 offices, and now we just have this office on West Street in Leominster. But everybody remembers analog technology, records and tapes. Everything was analog, 40 years ago. And digital technology sort of didn't get to the hearing aid industry until probably 15 or 20 years ago. So we were kind of behind the technological times with that. And that's really what changed the industry is moving from analog filtering to digital filtering. And that's what makes hearing aids much more effective today. And they're constantly changing. They're like computers or cell phones. Every 18 months to 2 years, everything has changed. All the technology has changed. Obviously the market has changed tremendously in 40 years. When I first started, there were a lot of individual practitioners, and now there are very few that aren't affiliated with chains. We're one of the few independents around. So, and it's much more challenging to stay independent. A lot of practitioners have decided to go with chains because it's easier for marketing and easier for billing and all that stuff. We've decided to stay independent. It gives us the flexibility to run the business the way that we want to, but it's challenging. Again, years ago, the individual practitioners were the main source of dispensers, and now we're in the minority. So that's really the big change, and probably again, it's accelerated in the last 10 years. We had offices in Leominster, Fitchburg, and Gardner, and we decided to come to Leominster, and we're really happy that we did. And we're happy where we are. The mayor has done a great job for the city, and I know Fitchburg is turning around, and Gardner's in better shape as well. But we're glad to be here. It's been great for us. The location is great. It's a well-run city, and I think the access to the highways is a big deal as well. We get people that find it easy to get to Leominster, so it's been a good run for us. We're happy to be here, and we're happy with the way things are run. When I first started, we had big clunky audiometers, and audiometers which you test hearing with. We had sound booths and all that stuff, and now everything is shrunk into these units that go into the computer, and this is how we do the testing. The testing is all recorded on the computer, and then once we have the test and the results of the test, then all these devices program different hearing aids. So every manufacturer has their own proprietary software and their proprietary devices to connect to hearing aids. This hearing loss that we see on the computer happens to be me. I've started to wear hearing aids because I found that I have some hearing loss, and it's been affecting me in background noise and just in general. So anyway, this is all the programming stuff. Even 10 years ago, it was totally different. Most of this stuff is wireless today, so we can connect these devices to the hearing aids wirelessly. If you came in 10 years ago, we had to connect everything by wire. So all this stuff has changed. Even in the last 5 years, the audiometers have changed, and all the programming devices have changed.
Unfortunately, we were invited to your event. We couldn't attend, but we were chatting, and we were just talking about how nice it is to have you so close to City Hall. But this is sort of the perfect image of a small business for us. We feel like we know you personally. We got an invitation for events, and we thought about 40 years of being in business. First of all, 40 years of being in business, not easy, right? It's just not. And things have changed so much over the decades, but we started talking about how in a community, how if everybody just helps out a little, but you guys help out a lot. And anytime we're doing anything, medical art, always, always, always there. But not so much from medical arts, but from both of you. And that means a lot to us, because that's really what community is about and what small business is really made up. You know that, 101 years, Markham Insurance, that's incredible. So we just wanted to give you a little citation thanking you, A, being our neighbor, being a small business, and C, for always, being involved in the community, and that's really for us. If we could just do that with everybody, that's the magic. So we just wanted to thank you on behalf of all of us, and the chamber's here as well. We're having the same conversation coming up the stairs about how supportive you are. Like, yeah, same thing at the chamber. That's really, this is what makes up, the excitement of a community. And when you define community, so many college students will often say, I have an assignment, I have to define community. Well, this is what community is. And so 40 years and quite an anniversary, and with the same amount of excitement I'm sure you had when you first started out.
We're still young though.
Yeah,
we
you're
are
still
still young.
Younger every day.
Still young.
That's it.
But when people think of a small business, it's really difficult today when you think that you have to start planning ahead for retirement, you have to start planning ahead for your own insurance. There's just so many pieces of this that make up small business for people to survive, and you certainly have survived through 4 decades.
Yeah.
And you still like each other. That's
Yeah.
an amazing thing.
Most days.
Most
days.
Come on, Tony. How can anybody disagree with you? You don't even have a disagreeable face. So anyway, here's a little citation.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do.
No, I have fun. They pay me every Thursday. I got no
That's great.
complaints.
You guys do great.
Now you have a
Really
great
good.
staff, but
Yes.
the
Yes, you
city
do.
looks
It's a
wonderful.
city street, yes.
And that's thanks to you. Like I said, there's nothing that we don't ask you to participate in that you don't
Thank
somehow
you.
Thank you.
help us. That
It's a
means
great
the
place,
world.
it's run well, it's
Yeah,
a
it
great
really
place to be,
is.
so we're very happy to be.
And you're our neighbor. All we have to do is walk over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you hear them from the town hall?
What's that?
Can you hear them from City Hall?
What?
Can you hear them from City Hall?
You a comedian?
I am.
I'll be here someday, don't
I was
worry.
gonna say, we'll get everyone,
you.
don't you worry.
Yesterday I had headphones
All
on.
of you, all
Person
of
next to
you.
me had
That's the
headphones
thing,
on.
you never run out of clientele.
That's right. Keep the loud
rotating
music
door.
going and the motorcycles and we'll get you.
And what's amazing is the technology that's available today
it is. It's
for
incredible.
people. And the other day I was at an event at ARC, and you can actually take a picture of something, and it will read you, if
Yeah.
the hearing impaired, or
Yeah,
visually
absolutely.
impaired, will
Yeah.
actually read it to you. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But so much technology is
Oh, yeah.
changing this
Oh, yeah.
All the
business.
time, it's great, yeah, technology's great, it really is, so it's amazing.
And insurance covers quite a
So,
bit of
some
it.
of it,
Yeah.
insurances are difficult, but it covers some of it.
So why don't, since we're talking about it, why don't people
You know,
come here?
there's just
What's
a-
the biggest hang up?
It's the stigma of hearing aids. It's still there. It's a lot less than it was. When we first started, there was a huge stigma. People would say, I'm going to wait till I'm 70, or I'm going to wait till I retire. And they had this magic number. Now we're seeing a lot of younger people because there's a lot less stigma attached to it, but there's still that stigma. There's still that it's equated with old age,
Right.
and all that stuff. But on the other side of the coin, not hearing is bad for your brain as we get older. Those neural pathways start to just go to sleep if you don't hear. So it's
So
important to people.
the general population doesn't really care.
Right.
It's usually the person that cares more than anybody else. Like, we don't think it's a big deal,
Right,
right?
right.
For the person, it's like anything else. It's like a smile, about
Yeah.
about a whole lot of things. So,
Yeah.
but this is typically where people might go for eye surgery or for
Right.
teeth, whatever, have surgery done. This is the last place they want
Right,
to go.
that's right, that's right. Nobody wants them, that's for
Nobody
sure.
wants
them. Yeah. But the baby boomers are much better at it
Oh
because
yeah.
They're much quicker.
they love to be active.
Right.
So sometimes, our parents, not so much. But the baby boomers, they're out there in the world, they need to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Does selective hearing, is that a good excuse? Can you do selective hearing?
No.
No?
You can try it. It works
Believe
for,
me,
it works for a
when
while.
you talk about food around me, I always hear it, no matter where I am. But I noticed like some Bluetooth devices over there that are hooked up to the phone.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's
So
amazing. Yeah.
so somebody's having a difficult time hearing.
Yes, the hearing
So-
aids can hook right to the telephone, so The telephone plays in your hearing aids, or YouTube plays in your hearing aids, or, you know, videos,
That's
whatever you
incredible.
want. So it's incredible. All
That's
wireless.
just-
And that phone, the government gives people who are hearing impaired at no cost.
Really?
Yes, the company's called Caption
Can
Call.
we just, is there any way to get some video of that? Can you walk over and just show
Sure.
us? That,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated
Show you
by
the
it.
phone.
Since,
Yeah, I can
since
take
we're
it.
here, I don't want to take away from the 40 years, but
Right.
man, this is amazing. So what happens?
I cannot actually show you the phone. But this company is called Caption Call. It is run by the government, federal government. They give it to people who are hearing impaired. We have to obviously acknowledge that they're hearing impaired. They come out, they set it up for the person, and that way the person can have caption calling. So if they can't hear what's on the other end of the phone, they
Right.
can read what's on the other
Or
end
a
of the
combination of
phone.
the two, right?
Yep.
So you might hear some words,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
things you might not.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a language barrier where somebody just, you know, might be somebody calling from,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know, an insurance company that, and it might be somebody that just don't quite
True.
understand, or
True.
they're talking too fast.
Yeah.
And so,
So this is fantastic.
wow, that's
And
incredible.
again, all you need is internet in your home, and that's it. And they'll come and take care of it all
That's
for you.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's
So
wonderful.
wonderful, wonderful service.
That's just some of the examples of the
Oh, yeah, it's
technology.
incredible. That's
Yeah.
how it's changed.
And the hearing devices are smaller,
Oh, yeah.
less
Yeah,
conspicuous.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Gee, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Stella. She's, you know.
So,
She's got the life.
Stella likes
Yeah.
the attention. That's her thing.
Stella. We used to have a Bella too. Bella
I kinda
is
got it from the
Stella
logo,
Bella.
right?
Yeah.
Bella
Yeah.
Stella, right?
Bella
Yeah.
Stella.
This is such a great build. Look at the stained glass and everything in here, huh?
Beautiful building, it really
Really.
is. Yeah.
So was this just a residence before? You guys
Yes,
came in?
it was a two-family, actually, there was an eye doctor here before us, before that it was a residence.
Do you remember what the eye doctor was?
Dr. Hathaway.
Yeah, he was here forever.
Yeah, forever.
Oh, it's good thing I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Thought he was
remember,
here
oh, yeah,
forever,
yeah,
yeah. Forever.
yeah.
And then, I'll take it a step closer, further. There was a Hathaway on Church Street that repaired clocks.
All right, now he's just showing up.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you challenged me, buddy. Well, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
happy for you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
it really is. I mean, it's tough running a small business today, and so many people today. People open a small business, you're putting everything on the line. More than likely, not just yourself, you know, your
Oh,
family,
yeah, absolutely.
small loans. Those have to be paid back, and you've got to look out for your future, right? Someday you'll retire. You need to have something.
I don't know if we're going to retire. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, there are a lot of people dependent on you because I see them all pulling up here.
Yeah.
Every age.
Yeah, yeah.
People in their 90s pulling up,
Oh,
driving
yeah.
here. So everybody wants to live that independent life, and,
Yeah.
and
They
not
do.
just the baby boomers, but
It's
you know,
true.
they really.
Yeah, as
you know,
long as they can, they want to go live at
Yes.
home as long
Yeah,
as
it's
they
amazing.
can.
Don't we all, right?
Yeah.
We do. We do.
And I don't mind the driverless cars at all. That's not going to bug me at all. As long as it listens. As long as it listens to tell you, hey, take a right, take a left. I like to see things. Well, anyway, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you for all you
you.
do.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all of you,
Thank
thank you for
you.
coming. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
40 years.